Everybody likes the way Wang mixes it up. Wang puts it out there. You know, Wang hits you. It might be night-night. You know, nobody likes getting hit by the Wang. Yeah, it just depends. And Brevin likes Wang a lot. You know, and I might be back in the Wang train as well. You know, we'll have to see. But Brevin's been high on Wang. You know, telling me Wang's good. I like Wang a lot. We should take Wang. To each their own, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna be on Kong Wang on this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy, JP. And in today's episode, we will be breaking down and giving our prediction for every single fight. UFC Fight Night, Bautista versus Oliveira, back in the new and improved Apex Center. Excited for that one. But before we dive into it, we got a few things to cover from last weekend's card. And before we talk about that, we just want to give a quick shout out to you guys. Our new followers, our new subscribers from last week. Welcome to the Locked Door MMA community. We appreciate you guys as always. We hope to hear from you, so leave a comment on this video. Go over to the TikTok, hate on me, love on me, whatever you want to do over there. It's all welcome. But at the end of the day, welcome to the community. We're happy to have you. On the road to 1,000 subscribers, we did pick up a few more subscribers this week, so we're super excited about that. Thank you. But go ahead and do us a big favor, and if you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and smack the like button for today's video to help the algorithm and help your boys out moving forward. But without further ado, JP, we got a few things to talk about from this past weekend's card. Overall, it was a good card, but I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card. I think 324, probably a little bit better. There were some snoozers, I would say, but strange. The reception of it. I've heard multiple different things. Volk 150, Masterclass, all this stuff. I don't think he 150. I think it was like 3-2 in my eyes. Lopez, I think, stole 2 and 3. But yeah, I don't think Diego fought the way he should have. I think he took away his best weapon, which is him going first, him coming forward and being not unorthodox, but more wild and dangerous. I felt like he was a lot more technical this fight. I don't know. I don't think it treated him well. But he broke both feet, which does not surprise me. Watching a lot of those kicks, as I was watching it, the guy I was watching it with, I kept telling him, I don't like the way his feet are pointed. They're not pointed down. They're not flat like they should be. And it was just weird. And then that one, obviously, I think everybody could see that one when it broke his right foot. I think it was when he kicked him and then stepped back on it and it buckled. But it is what it is. Volk does what he does. Other than that, Brevin, I think it was a night of IQ. And it showed us once again that we can pick the right fighter, because I feel like we did. And IQ just fails us. Dan Hooker, not smart. I don't care if you think that was a masterclass performance by BSD. I don't get what you're looking at. Dan Hooker was doing exactly what we thought he was going to do: out scramble, out wrestle, threaten with chokes. BSD gives it up. They both roll, stand up on the feet, and he's just piecing them up on the feet. And then we go for our own takedown and get fucked up. So whatever, good one there. Rufy throws straight punches, and what do you know, Brevin? He gets a knockout. Crazy how that works. Yi Jia got robbed. That's one reception I've seen unanimous. I don't remember the last time we've seen a unanimous, everybody thinks he got robbed. Normally it's people here, people there. Everybody thinks he got robbed. Because he did. I think Lawrence Louis got a robbery victory as well. I think Sulan Grambo should have won that, but you get a person who cares about takedowns. Some people don't. Even though it took him an average of 18 seconds. I don't know. But Torres Finney lost. Love that. Got his ass beat. I know he got hurt. I don't wish anybody to get hurt. But I think he got exposed. Boy can't strike. He sucks. Is what it is.
Yeah, that was not a surprising outcome to JP and I, but to many of you out there, I saw a lot of people locking Torres Finney, thinking he was going to go ahead and walk through Malkoun and just out wrestle him. And he didn't win any phase of that fight, which I did find it a little surprising that he didn't do anything well. Sucks about his knee, but props to him for fighting through that. And it was kind of nice to just see him get his butt kicked for once. I was happy for that outcome, and we'll see. I think I saw it may have been fake, but I saw some rumblings about Torres Feni getting the boot from the UFC. It might happen. We'll see. But either way, good to see him lose.
We can only hope. I know he tore his knee, and I don't know if people are saying it was a first round. I don't really care. His striking's abysmal. I think Malkoon's IQ is trash as well. Oban's IQ is terrible. And Hooker. The Tuivasa Teixeira fight was just absolutely atrocious. Oh my god. But I mean, other than that, I'm trying to look and see. That's pretty much it. Nakamura with the last round knee. Sebastian on his way to another decision victory. Fucking decision merchant, and then gets slumped with a knee up the middle. That was beautiful. But yeah, not a bad card. Back out to the Apex. Did they is like the renovations and shit done for the Apex?
I believe so. I saw a video of the inside of it. It looks like they added some more seating and things. So I believe all the renovations that they were planning are done.
Is the cage bigger or is it still small cage?
I believe it's still going to be a small cage, but I'm not too sure.
Maybe I should research it.
We got to do some more research. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into the UFC Fight Night featuring Vincius Oliveira and Mario Bautista in the main event. But you guys know the drill. We got to start at the beginning of the card. In the prelims, we're going to kick it off with a women's fight, which we didn't see last weekend at all. We've got Priscilla Cachoeira taking on Claudia Sygula.
Yeah, we got a couple this weekend. All right, we got 3 women's fights. Should be decent. Should be okay. This one, strange. Everybody knows what you get with Cachoeira. She's a brawler. Hits hard. You take her down, tire her out. You're going to choke her out. That's how she loses. Claudia could do that. They're both pretty similar in size. This is one where if you're on either girl, is what it is. I wouldn't say you're wrong on either side. We're going to take Cachoeira. It could be a dumb pick. She could get grapple fucked. We think her strength, her explosiveness, I think she's just going to be too aggressive and too much for Claudia. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Claudia's striking. It's not fast. It's not good. It's straight-ish, but she's super slow. She telegraphs almost everything. We'll take a shot on Cachoeira dog money.
Yeah, 1,000%. The other thing with Sygula, she is young. Now not necessarily age-wise, like she's only 27. However, she doesn't have a ton of UFC experience. Where I feel like Cachoeira, she is much older. She does have a lot of fight experience, and I do believe she's got a lot more power in her strikes. JP versus Sygula, who's gonna rely on the grappling to find any success in this fight. Now, with these women's fights, especially when they're on the smaller side of it, the woman that carries a lot of power is usually going to be even more dangerous than you see with some of the men's fights, right? Because I feel like all these men carry some sort of power. Typically with the women's fights, it's a lot more distinct as far as the power advantage. And I think Cachoeira definitely holds that advantage in this matchup. And we do believe that she's going to land the cleaner, harder strikes and make it very hard for Sygula to initiate the grappling and have success with that. So yeah, give us dog money to start the night. I'm excited for it. We got to make up a little bit of money from last weekend for sure.
I mean, like we said earlier, the losses the fighter we picked looks great in the first round, looks great early, and then they just make a decision. That's just a dumb decision, and it costs them the fight. So not too upset about the losses. Yeah, Sygula doesn't really shoot for takedowns. She gets most of her takedowns in like the clinch. She likes trips and shit, so I don't know. Feel the way you want to feel. All right, moving up. Hair Patch Boy returns. Muin Hair Patch Gafurov going up against Jacob Wiklacz, I believe it's pronounced.
Yeah, Wiklacz, who cares? This is an interesting matchup given the fact that Wiklacz came in on short notice, I believe it was, fought Patchy Mix. A lot of people counted him out, right? he was really the one that put the nail in the coffin on the Patchy Mix is a fraud statement. And he fought a good fight. You know, it was kind of back and forth. He had moments of his own. The dude has pretty good grappling. I would say he had, you know, surprised a lot of people with his ability to defend the grappling from Patchy Mix. There was times that Patchy was on top, and Jacob would threaten with the guillotine that would then roll Patchy Mix over to his back. So I think the guillotine especially, but the grappling altogether from Wiklacz is dangerous. And in this one, I think Muin's going to have to really keep an eye out for that. Muin's someone that's comfortable with pressing forward, throwing big overhands as he's reaching for legs, or right, getting in on a takedown. I expect that to be the game plan from Gafurov. Come in, shoot a takedown. But I do think Wiklacz can lock up a tight guillotine and probably submit Muin Gafurov. He's just one of those guys that's prone to getting guillotine. He sticks his neck in there. He goes for takedowns. He's not necessarily the highest IQ fighter, and that cost us so much last weekend that we're really going to favor the guys that we believe have a strong game plan going into these matchups, and that's going to be Jacob Wiklacz. So we're going to pick him to win. Right now, JP, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he's also the underdog.
Yes, sir. Currently.
Let's go. We got dog money on the first two fights of the night. Should be a good one, though. A lot of back and forth. But Jacob, he's bigger, stronger, and I think the grappling from him is going to be on display on Saturday.
Yeah, so far it's close. Dog money lines on the first two fights. Fiziev, we picked him as a dog last week. By the time the fight went off, he wasn't a dog. So depending on when you see the video, like they might not be, they might be, but. Yeah, Jacob, he's gonna be bigger and longer. I like his kicks. He'll kick in the leg. He's got a good teep to the body, and then he'll throw a front kick off that same teep. And like Brevin said, Gafurov's just he hits hard as shit, but it's this fucking winging wild overhand. Like, of course, if it hits you, it's gonna be a bomb, but you can see it coming from Timbuktu. So I don't know. I don't think Jacob stands there, and then. Like Brevin said, Saeed's got a good guillotine. I think Wiklacz is better. He's a black belt, and we saw him give trouble to Apache, no longer in the UFC mix. You know? Yeah, give us Wiklacz.
Yeah, 1,000%. All right, moving up. We've got the Wang Kong Wang taking on Eduarda Ronda Moura.
Edna Mole. I don't know why. Every time she fights, you can go back and watch videos. Every time she fights, I always call her Edna Mole. Don't know why. This is a good fight though. I like this women's fight probably the most on the card. Both girls only have one loss. Eduarda Moura looks much better ever since she moved up a weight class. Could not make 115 to save her life. Normally she's pretty big, right? She's looking to grapple. She kind of imposes herself. She takes center. These other girls trying to tit for tat on the outside, and then she'll eventually get you down. She's super strong. She's not much bigger than Kong Wang. If anything, not bigger at all. I think they're pretty much the same size. And we like Kong's striking. Everybody likes the way Wang mixes it up. Wang puts it out there. You know, Wang hits you. It might be night. You know, nobody likes getting hit by the Wang. Yeah, it just depends. And Brevin likes Wang a lot. You know, and I might be back in the Wang train as well. You know, we'll have to see. But Brevin's been high on Wang. You know, telling me Wang's good. I like Wang a lot. We should take Wang. To each their own, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna be on Kong Wang on this one. Edna Mole. I just don't think the size difference is there this time, and I think that's gonna come back to Hunter. And I like the way Kong throws leg kicks. I like what she does with leg kicks. She'll check them. She'll end her combinations with them. Love that. She'll push you back. You'll avoid the hands. Boom. She'll snap onto the thigh or the calf or something. So I enjoy that. Give us Wang.
Yeah, I think the one thing that stands out, JP, which you alluded to, is Eduarda's always had that size advantage in a lot of her matchups, and that's really where she's looked so dominant. Now you get her in the octagon with a girl her size who has the skill set of Kong Wang, and I just think it's going to be trouble from start to finish. I expect Kong Wang to inflict damage on Eduarda Moura, and for Moura not to be able to get Kong Wang down to the ground. Now, we did see in Kong Wang's one loss, that is her downfall, right? She is not a grappler. She is a boxer. That is what she does. She's going to stand up and throw powerful punches. But I don't think with this size differential, them being the same, that Moore is going to have the same success that she's had against girls like Veronica Hardy, who are much, much smaller. So I expect this fight to stay standing, and I like Kong Wang's stand-up game a lot better than Moore's.
Yeah, and I mean, she got head kicked. So if Mora head kicks her, it is what it is. But she got head kicked and was lost, and then Gabriella just jumped on her neck. But yeah, we'll have to see. Good fight there. All right, moving up. The first of the two Basharat brothers on the card. Havid Basharat going up against Said Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, this is a pretty even matchup, guys, which a lot of these fights are on this card. But with Said Nurmagomedov, what he does really well is he works to get into the clinch standing, and then he finds trips off of that. And that's really his game plan as far as taking you down to the ground. When he's been, not having success, that's just because he can't enter into the clinch. Once he has the clinch, he locks up a really tight body lock, and then from there, you're in his world. And he also's got that good guillotine. JP talked about it earlier. It's always there for him. In this matchup, though, Basharat's never been submitted in his professional career. I don't expect him to get submitted on Saturday. I do like his stand-up a little bit more. And JP was talking about the head movement. He kind of dips off to the side. He could possibly get caught. Well, Said Nurmagomedov really has troubles moving his head altogether, which I don't like. He stands pretty still. He's able to get hit. And then, typically he takes them pretty well and walks forward and gets into that clinch situation. But I think Basharat's footwork is going to outweigh the ability of Said to get inside and to cut the cage off there. So give us Habib Basharat. I just think he's got the skill set to kind of negate anything that Said brings to the table.
100%. Both guys coming in off a 2-fight losing streak. And I think it's a good buy low moment on Havid because, like Brevin said, it's super close. You could be on either side. Said looks great in the first round. His mobility and his hips, if you want to learn or see what it looks like to kick properly, watch a Said fight. He can throw spinning kicks, question mark kicks. His lead head kick, or he does like a side kick to your face and shit. That thing, his roundhouse kick will come up so fast, and it doesn't look like it's coming to your head, and then he'll chop. It's crazy to watch. Great mobility, but he does all the spinning shit and expends himself a bunch in the first round, and then dude always slows down. Who was the other one? Brevin Abus? Was that who it was? Who was kind of the same way? He would look great in the first round. Tank. I mean, this dude's a fucking Duramax twin diesel. 8 miles to the gallon. You put your foot to the floor once, you see that gas bar just dipping. And we think that's where Havid's going to outlast him. He's just going to look better in round 2, round 3. But like Brevin said, I am a little worried. Havid's one of those guys that will go straight back and then he'll cut an angle. But when we cut an angle, our hands kind of get a little wide. Said can throw head kicks. Sometimes Havid dips a little too much. I'm a little worried about getting kicked in the head or a spinning elbow or some shit. But we are going to take Havid.
1,000%. All right, moving up. We've got another women's bout here. Bruna Brazil is taking on Ketlin Souza.
Another close one. If you guys were here for, I believe it's the Sphere card. UFC Noche at the Sphere. O'Malley versus Marab 1. Bruna Brazil. Or no. Ketlin Souza. Plus 400 dog money. Everybody said how stupid. She chokes out Yasmin Hadage. And I feel like we've gotten a real good beat on her lately. She can stand up and she can mix it up a little bit. But her last fight showed us she is going to do everything besides fucking sprawl. She's going to let you sit on her legs and she's going to try and give you the good old reach around. Right? I forget what they call that, where you grab the crotch or whatever, you try and grab your other hand. Whatever she's doing. Whether she's trying to check the oil, maybe that's what that's called. I think that's what it is. I can't stand it. Just fucking sprawl. Pull your legs back. Do something. Stop. She'll sit on her butt and she'll try and scoot. I didn't like Bruna at the beginning of research because she's a decision merchant. But watching her fight with Kong Wang, she was landing some decent leg kicks too. She's a little bit faster. I didn't realize that she's going to be decent amount bigger than Ketlin. Or on paper, that's at least what it says. We'll see what the weigh-ins look like, but I don't know. What Ketlin does decent, I feel like Bruna does pretty decent as well. And on that, Bruna's with the fighting nerds now, and she can grapple to begin with. Her takedown accuracy is actually pretty decent at 64%. She only averages 1.5, but 64% at 1.5, that's Ketlin's downfall. She put a bad taste in my mouth last time she fought. I'm not going to do it again. Give us Bruna.
Yeah, you had the big underdog call on Ketlin Souza, but let's not forget you had the big underdog call on Bruna Brazil when she took on Molly McCann. She was about a plus 300 underdog in that fight. And we really saw the writing on the wall there with Brazil going in there, taking care of business against Meatball Molly. And in this one, like you said, JP, I think the size is going to get to Ketlin, as well as Ketlin's volume just really hasn't been there. She's supposed to carry this power, but if you're not throwing strikes out there, the chances of you actually landing that power are not as frequent and common as you would like from a power puncher. So I do think Bruna's very well rounded. Training with the fighting nerds, sign me up. We're taking Bruna Brazil, and I feel good about it.
100%. All right, moving up. This one should be fireworks for sure. Alex Morono is taking on Daniil Donchenko.
Yeah, excited for this fight, guys. Alex Morono has been around the block. He's 35 years old, has a ton of UFC fights under his belt, professional fights altogether. As of late, hasn't fought that great. He's dropped the last 3. There's a questionable unknown result in a grappling match. It just doesn't look good, at least on Tapology and on paper. The guy is aging, and you can see that when he steps foot inside the octagon. In his bout against Carlos Leal, he had some strikes that landed, but his chin's up in the air. He didn't take damage very well, ultimately got knocked out. Now he's taking on an up-and-coming fighter coming off of Dana White's Contender Series, Daniil Donchenko. And I'm sorry, it's not even the Contender Series. It was Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you to my brain. That actually corrected me there. Coming off the Ultimate Fighter and fought really well in that fight to win the Ultimate Fighter. He trains out of Thailand. He's got great kickboxing, but he's also got good wrestling, and he can grapple as well. So I do think Donchenko, the younger, more powerful guy, is going to be able to go in there, take care of business against the aging Alex Morono. We're taking Daniil Donchenko.
Yeah, and if you guys have been here, you know how much I do not like Alex Morono. All right, if you're new around here, Alex Morono is a fucking spaz, and I do not like it. His striking, his technique overall is a young man's technique. And I mean that as in it's very unorthodox. It's not technical at all. And he's just constantly moving. He looks like he's spazzing out. Like watching Morono fight gives me anxiety because it's just so much wasted fucking movement, and I hate it. I do not like it. It's kind of like Natalia Silva. I mean, not as much as like hip. I don't know what she's doing, her fucking hip movement, but a lot of movement and just not as good. And when he was younger, he could do it because he could move, stick and move. His chin was there. Now his chin's not there, and he's fighting a guy who can level change on him when he gets him hurt. Another thing I like that Donchenko does is when he gets people hurt, he'll press them back, press them back, press them back. When they're on the cage and they're shelling up, he'll throw like 5-6 punch combinations, but he'll go to the body halfway through. And they get their hands dropped and then end with one upstairs. I love that. And like Brevin said, he can grapple on his own. He can wrestle as well. I don't think Morono is going to pull out this game plan of ragdolling Donchenko, who's strong as fuck, by the way. Give us Donchenko.
1,000%. Now, I think I love when they flash up the graphics before these fights, and it's like the younger fighter by 10 plus years has a 95% win rate or whatever it is, and we'll see that again. With that 11-year age gap between the two. One's on his way out, one's on his way up. Pretty clear cut for us there. All right, Next fight, we've got old man Dustin Jacoby taking on Julius, the Juice Box Walker.
Oh, man. You know, guys, we tried to be high on Juice Box. We really did. All right, we both enjoyed playing basketball. I mean, this guy, he was he ever like a professional basketball player, just collegiate, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So we liked that. We thought that was cool. All right, transition. We see football players. We see Josh Hockett being racist, playing football, and now coming over to the UFC. Juicebox sucks, man. He sucks. He gasses himself out. He always gets clipped. In every one of his fights that we've seen, he's doing decent, and then he gets clipped. And now he's fighting a guy who can match him in size. I think Jacoby's reach is a little bit longer, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's not. Juicebox is. But are you going to sit here and tell me Juicebox is going to outstrike Dustin Jacoby? I don't think so. We watched Vitor Petrino beat his ass, and then Jacoby slumped him in the third round. Jacoby's always got power. Call it a bias pick, call it whatever you will, but Juicebox is going to gas out. He gets sloppy. Some people call him durable. I don't know. Everybody else he fight also gasses out with him. So maybe we see that again. But I think if that happens, I think Jacoby's slumping him. I'm not a big fan of either guy, but I truly do think this is one of the ones where Dustin Jacoby can put the lights out. Now, with that being said, we are going to take Jacoby. Brevin, I didn't realize Alexander Hernandez is a part of the same gym that Isaac Dolgarian was. And apparently, people are saying shit. And I'm like, all right, I didn't think about that. I didn't realize that. Jacoby's a part of that gym. So I don't know. Feel the way you want to feel. If we don't see a fight, this might be it. You might want to put money on Juice Box by KO in the first round. I'm just saying. Don't know. But we're taking Jacoby.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think you said it best, and this is probably a good spot, guys, to look at the round 2, the round 3 KO, because like JP said, Juice Box gasses out, all right? And Jacoby capitalizes on that more times than not. His last 2 fights, he's found KOs. One time in the first, one time in the third. The dude has power throughout the entirety of the fight, and I do believe he's going to find the KO. If you just want to bet the KO prop, do it. Dustin Jacoby's the pick. Juice Box, Julius Walker. Maybe you should have stuck with basketball. I don't think he's very good, but give us Dustin Jacoby.
It's just sloppy. It's just sloppy. I mean, talk about the Tuivasa Teixeira fight. Every Juice Box fight that we've seen so far is just, at a certain point, it just looks like that. Dudes are falling over because they can't hold them. I don't know. Whatever. All right, moving up. Next one. This one should be a good one. A scrappy one right here. Gene Matsumoto is taking on the better and the older, I believe he's older, Basharat brother Farid Basharat.
Yeah, excited for this fight. JP and I talked about it before we started filming. Gene Matsumoto, every single time he's in a fight, it's a fight. Like, it's not lopsided. This dude is scrappy. He's ready to throw hands. He's ready to wrestle and grapple. He is a very well-rounded fighter. He's only got one blemish on his record. However, he's taken on Farid Basharat, who's undefeated. The dude is a mauler. He's fought really, really clean, smart, high IQ fights. He's got good footwork. He's got good striking. He can also grapple, and he knows how to win by decision. The dude's really well-rounded. He's done it all. I think the unanimous decision victory over Chris Gutierrez kind of shows you that. I mean, Chris Gutierrez is a master of going to decision, finding the victory with the leg kicks and all the damage that he inflicts, right? And Basharat, yes, he's still young. Yes, he hasn't fought the highest level of competition, but I'd also argue that Matsumoto is in the same boat. He's even younger than Basharat, hasn't fought the highest level of competition, and, you know, he's still developing. So give me the taller, smarter, higher IQ fighter, in my opinion, and Farid Basharat to get the job done.
100%. Yeah, no, Brevin said it perfectly. I'm taking Basharat's resume over Gene's. Gene's one blemish is to Rob Font. Some people argue he won that. I'm pretty sure I was on that side. I thought Gene won it. But another thing, Gene gets hit a lot. Like Brevin was saying, every fight he's in, it's fucking close. Whether you thought he was going to win or not, it's a damn close fight the whole time. He's super durable, but he gets hit a lot. And we're taking the guy who's got better footwork, all the above. Like Brevin said, IQ. Last week, we felt like we picked great spots, good fighters, and it was just IQ that came to bite us in the ass. Which it happens, I guess. But now we're like, fuck, we're just going to hammer IQ guys. Because it's just irritating when you watch somebody do exactly what you thought they were going to do, and then just one stupid decision throws the whole thing away.
The whole fight.
The whole fight.
Yep.
Oban and Dan Hooker, both of them, I feel like the same thing was happening. You're beating their ass on the feet. You were doing perfectly fine. We do not need to grapple. Jacob Malkoun, you're beating his ass on the feet. I get that you're a wrestler by nature. Who cares? The only thing this dude has is a fucking overhand. And then you keep grappling for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
His leg is hurt. His fucking right leg, his knee is blown out. Why would you not kick either leg at that point? Kick his other leg. What is he going to do? Start hobbling around on that one? No. I don't get it. I do not get it. I feel like the corner should say something. We're taking Basharat. Matsumoto just gets hit too much. Basharat's a master at decision winning. Basharat by decision is probably going to be my bet. Yeah, give us Fareed.
1000%. All right, moving up this card. We have a matchup here that I'm looking forward to. Michael Oleksiejczuk is taking on Marc-Andre Barriault.
We haven't told you our lock yet, but if there's going to be any lock for anybody this weekend, it is that this fight does not go distance. All right, you can jot that down right now. You can put that in literally every single one of your parlays. I guarantee you that prop is hitting. Somebody's going to bed. Marc-Andre, he used to be pretty nasty until his chin went, and then losing to Shara. Feel the way you want to feel about Shara. We like the one-eyed pirate. I think we're starting to realize he might not be everything he was built up to be. But Barriault in his last 5, his only win is against Bruno. I don't want to be here, Silva. And it was for somebody, for somebody who didn't want to be there. That was hard to watch. That dude got his forehead put through the cage basically with an elbow. That was bad to watch. Other than that, he's just getting knocked out. Split decision loss to Chris Curtis. That looks okay. Pfeiffer slumping him. Stoltzfus slumped him. Shara decision. If Shara had any power, he would have slumped him. You know who does have power? Oleksiejczuk. And you know why we told you guys we did not like him going into the GM3 fight? Because he's stupid and he's going to drop people and then he'll chase him to the ground and he always gets subbed. Boom, fight starts. We go, no, just wait. He's going to drop him and then he's going to get subbed. Boom, there he goes, drops him. And he backs up and waves him for the guy to get up. And everybody we were in the room with looked at us and went, wait, I thought you said that wouldn't happen. We didn't think it would happen. It looks like the guy learned what fighting IQ is. Looks like the fighting nerds told him, hey, don't know why you're going down there. Just make him stand up and hit him again. The Kevin Holland fight he could have won because he clipped Kevin Holland pretty bad. Even if Barriault clips Oleksiejczuk, I just think he's got a much better chin. He's more durable. Give us Mikkel.
Yep, I think that's the thing. The striking's there. I don't think Barriault's going to outstrike Oleksiejczuk on the feet. Barriault, he's not really the guy that's looking to take you down and grapple you either. He's really just looking to clinch you up against the fence, land his elbows, land his knees in tight, and really wear on you. But Oleksiejczuk at range, I think, is going to have a major striking advantage. He's a much younger guy. He's got good size, great power in this matchup as well for such a significant striking differential. Michael Oleksiejczuk, feeling good about his progress, training with the fighting nerds. I think he's getting smarter, and he's going to make another push in this division to be one of the top guys. I don't think he's necessarily ever going to be fighting for a title or anything like that, but he is certainly looking sharp as of late. I will give him that.
Yeah, I mean, the IQ, just lean into your wheelhouse. So if you drop somebody, you don't always got to chase him. Back up. Make him stand back up. Make them stand on their little chicken legs. Looks like a deer that just got born. Can't walk. So, all right, moving up the big boys, going at it. And we might be in for a snooze fest with this one. Jailton Almeida returns, going up against Rizvan Steroid Kuniev.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be an interesting matchup. Really show us what each guy's going to be able to provide us in this heavyweight division. Jailton Almeida coming off a really boring performance that he ended up losing because of how boring it was. And Kuniev really hasn't done a whole lot, right? Like he's only a few fights into his UFC career. The dude's kind of slow. I guess some could say he's a decent wrestler. I don't really see it. And I think Almeida is going to be able to find takedowns in this fight and lay on him and hopefully land ground and pound this time. And that's how I see this fight going. I could also see a submission coming from Almeida. When fights like his last fight take place and he doesn't get the nod, sometimes it can be a good enough, lesson learned to where they really turn things around. It's like, okay, I got to get the position. And I got to do something with it. So I'm hoping he's learned that lesson. I'm hoping he finds that finish or at least lands devastating ground and pound, which we've seen him do in the past. He's capable of doing it. He will have the longer reach, even though he's a little bit shorter than Kuniev. Kuniev is going to be all 265 of that weight limit. Almeida is going to be a little bit lighter. We'll see how that plays out. But I also can see Kuniev getting much more tired while Almeida still has some juice. So give us Jailton Almeida in an interesting heavyweight matchup.
100%, dude. And I mean, especially like you're saying, him and Volkov fought for 15 minutes. 10 of those minutes were control time for Jailton. And he landed 9 significant strikes. I mean, it Torres Finney-esque. What are we doing? Throw anything. You might say, well, how many did he throw? 10. Or at least that's what the stats are telling me. But if this is the Lawrence Louis judge, they probably give the fight to Almeida. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. Depends on what judge you get. It's irritating as shit. Like Brevin's saying, and then Kuniev just has not looked the same since he took steroids. He got caught taking steroids, beat Renan Fajeda. They said, hey, take a drug test. Oh, you popped. Shocker, you're on steroids. Look at a picture of him before and then after. What are we doing? On top of that, like Brevin's saying, you get, what is it, 25K for a finish now?
Yep.
And then the fight night bonuses, like performance of the night or fight of the night, whatever, is 100K. You go out there, you ragdoll him, you beat the shit out of him, pound his head into the canvas, you could get 125K on top of your fight check. What more do you need for incentive to do something when you have the takedowns? Almeida's damn athletic, super strong. I don't think the weight's going to be a problem. We're going to take Almeida, but I mean, if he does the same shit, honestly, just cut him. But yeah, I think he's got all the talent in the world. You just search for a finish, dude.
1,000%. All right, next up, we have our co-main event of the night. Amir Albazi is taking on Kyoji Horiguchi.
This one would be a harder pick for me if Amir was active. Amir's hurt his neck, I believe, twice now. Not super active. Fights like once a year, once every year and a half. We just saw Kyoji finish to gear. How often do you see that? Kyoji looked fucking great. He didn't look like he slowed down at all. He looked like he built as he went in the fight. He's investing into the body, into the legs, his pressure. He's super fast, well-rounded. We saw Kyoji look great, and Amir's just constantly had injury issues, a major injury at that. Not like a simple like, oh, I hurt my knee or whatever, neck injury, and then he's just not active. I don't think he should overthink this one. I think it should be pretty simple. Amir could go out there and starch him and look great, but I can't ignore the big red flags in my face. We're taking Horiguchi.
Yeah, 1,000%. I agree with everything that you've said. Horiguchi, I mean, not fighting in the UFC for quite some time. after had been previously fighting in the UFC, went to Ryzen, just built off of every single one of his performances, comes back to the UFC, fights a really beautiful fight where, late in that fight, he's still looking really sharp. He looks like he's been the guy with experience, which is how you should look in his position. And Albazi, like JP was saying, just isn't active, doesn't have, the same resume, doesn't have the same experience. I thought he fought a decent fight against Moreno, but still lost that one, got beat up. I think Cachoeira's really going to show us that there's levels to this game and that you have to stay active in order to keep up with the times and how the game's evolving. So yeah, give us Kyoji Horiguchi, and I'm excited to see another strong performance from him.
Could be a good one. All right. Main event time, the big one. I'm very interested to see what happens in this fight. I think it's going to tell us a lot about what happens for one of these guys. Mario Bautista is taking on Vincius Lock Dog Oliveira.
Yeah, I mean, should be a pretty good matchup here, guys. Mario Bautista has fought really good competition. I was telling that to JP off the air. Obviously he knows that, but I was reaffirming that. Some of the guys that he's fought. I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov, Patchy Mix, with the grappling, the Jose Aldos, the Ricky Simones, like they each bring a different skill set to prepare for. With Ricky Simone's wrestling and Patchy Mix's grappling and Umar Nurmagomedov's pressure and takedowns, like he has built off of every single performance. And in most of those, he was getting the win. He had only lost the one to Umar, which I thought he fought pretty well. He had like the toe hold there for a while. I'm like, you don't see Umar in any bit of trouble ever. And he was kind of having some success here and there. The boxing has evolved, the striking has evolved, takedown defense, so on and so forth. So I really like Mario Bautista's development over the past couple of fights that he's had inside the organization. Vincius Oliveira hasn't fought the same level of competition, has good power in his hands, good striking. He throws a lot of kicks, but he's also shown that sometimes he can break his feet. He can have injuries to the toes, to the legs, and be hobbled and injured. So I mean, look for him to implement a kick-heavy game plan, but a couple of those get checked. What does that look like for Vincius, as well as the volume? That's one thing that I always pay attention to. I feel like I'm our volume guy on this channel, right? Like if a guy's not throwing enough punches, this stands out to me. And it's not gonna look good to the judges either, especially over 5 rounds, right? Like you can't throw a very insignificant amount of punches and expect a lot of those to be significant strikes that land and score on the judges' scorecards. And I just think Bautista's more well-rounded than Vincius Oliveira. Look for Bautista to potentially wrestle and grapple Oliveira in this one as well, especially if things aren't going well on the feet. However, I do think Bautista's got a really good jab, and he's got the hands to match Oliveira's striking, even though Oliveira carries a little bit more power. So we're taking Mario Bautista to get the job done.
And I don't know if that's surprising to some people or not. You guys know Brevin's not a big fan of Bautista. I'm not crazy on him either, right? He is another one of these guys out in Phoenix. All right, so talk crazy, see him out in Phoenix one time. We'll see what happens. Might have to film a little Sprouts altercation. But Trader Joe's. I mean, it's one of the two.
I don't shop at Sprouts.
One of the two healthy, non-GMO. But yeah, dude. I mean, Brevin's not lying. Mario Bautista is extremely well-rounded. And feel the way you want to feel about that Jose Aldo fight, whether he won, he lost. On paper, it said he won. I mean, we talk about robberies all the time. We had 2 of them last weekend. At the end of the day, on paper, it says you won. To the 3 people that it mattered to, they thought you did enough to win the fight. And that's what he's good at, right? And like Brevin said, the Umar fight, we picked Umar. And Umar won. Mario impressed us with the way that he fought. He fought pretty well. And Brevin's talking about Vinicius's volume and this and that. He's one of those guys, he can put you out, right? If he hits you with something, he can put you out. Extremely unorthodox, stupid athletic, very fast. But with a guy with Bautista, this has now gotten to the point where we're at the level, and I think he kind of saw this a little bit in the Saeed fight in the first round. because Vinicius will stay in your face and he'll wear you out. You know who also has a really good gas tank? Not Said Nurmagomedov. Mario Bautista does. That's one of his strengths. But we see it all the time. And I feel like it might be similar to Lopez Volk. These guys who are unorthodox have a lot of power and put people out at the lower level. Once they get to the elite level, the people who are super technical, super well-rounded, it doesn't really work as well. You got to put more behind it. One shot might catch them, but these guys have seen that, been there, and they're good at recovering. Then they'll level change, they'll trip you, they'll do whatever. You got to put volume, combos, all that together. Like Brevin's talking about, volume. That'll get you there. You just got to touch somebody enough, and once you both get tired, that one shot might be there now. They're tired, they're worried about your jab or whatever else. Vinicius just hasn't fought the best guys in the division versus Mario has. We're taking Bautista.
Yeah, 100%. I think you said it beautifully. I just think, the development of Bautista has just shown me there's levels to his game versus Oliveira. Like, he really hasn't done anything different. And in fact, I think it's actually regressed a little bit because, like you said, he's not putting people out. He's not finishing these fights that he once did because the power, it just doesn't translate to the best fighters in the world. And that's what we have with Mario Bautista in this bantamweight division. He is one of the top guys. He's a tough son of a gun. He's been in there with some of the best. He'll be able to eat punches and then implement a game plan, fighter IQ, that helps him win the fight. So I feel very confident going into that one.
100%. And honestly, like at a certain point, I get it. I'm not saying the Aldo fight was entertaining. I'm not saying I like him because of that. What I'm saying is I'm tired of picking a fighter to win. They do everything we said they're going to do, and then IQ fails them, and now we're pissed because they're stupid. Mario Bautista's, like Brevin just said, smart IQ. I'll take the smart IQ guys, whether it's entertaining or not. If one football team can do nothing but run the ball every single play and you can't stop it, fuck it. Why would I try and throw it? Why would I try and do anything different? So, it'd be interesting.
1,000%. That does it for the card. It doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. We have your free show parlays coming your way, starting with Locked Door MMA's Lock of the Night. JP, who are we locking up?
Let me see if DraftKings has them on here, because it doesn't have some of them. Not seeing it. I'm going to cry because I don't think it's on here. It is not, but that's okay. We'll see what the line ends up being. Don't care about the lines anyways. All right, but I do care about the KO line because he's going to slump Morono. We're taking Donchenko. We're taking Donchenko. Morono, the spaz, is getting put out. He's getting grounded, pounded. Under 1.5, under 1 round. Whatever it is, first round KO. He's not going to be able to deal with the power. His chin is gone, and Donchenko can still change the levels on him. It's not like he's bankrupt on the ground. Give us Donchenko.
Yeah, 1,000%. There you have it. Lock of the night going to Daniel Donchenko. That moves us into Brev's basic. All right. And you guys know how I roll. Usually include the locks. So let's do it. Daniel Donchenko, we're taking you to kick off basic. And then we're going to move up. And we're going to take one of Basharat brothers. Give me Farid Basharat to get the job done. And then JP's not as high on him as I am in this matchup, but I do feel really, really good. Give me Michael Oleksiejczuk to round out the basic.
Nice one. I mean, I do think he slumps. And I agree with everything that we said. And he did look much better, much smarter. I don't want to get fooled. Yeah, I don't want you to, hey, he's a smart guy now. And then we just go back to the old ways. But, all right, juicer time. Hopefully you played last week because it hit. The week before that hit. I probably have only lost like 3 juicers in the whole time that we've done this. Honest to God. It's like free throws for me at this point. It's a guaranteed thing. You found me. I'm not missing. Okay, this week's up. Sit down, shut up, let's do it. In the main event, Mario Bautista. Can IQ get us home? Hopefully it can. The next one, I'm going Horiguchi. I like the way he looked before. Amir's not active. Pretty simple. Cut and dry for me. we're skipping the big boys because screw that. Next one we're back in Brevin. Okay, we are back in Brevin. We're trusting our boy. Throw in Oleksiejczuk. Okay, you could throw him in by KO. I think he slumps him. Throw him in there. The next one, we are going Farid Basharat. The better of the Basharat brothers. Might have to sweat that one out. Like I said, Gene always makes everything a close fight, but he just gets hit an awful lot. We're skipping Jacoby Walker. Hey, I don't know if that shit is true, but that gym's had quite a few. That's all I'm saying. It's a little sketchy. But moving down, we're taking Donchenko. Throw the lock in there. Obviously, you could throw him by KO and Mikhail by KO, and that would probably juice it up even more. I believe that's what, 5? Yeah, that's 5 right there. The 6th one. We're going to do it because Farid said we had to do it. Give us Javid Basharat. The Basharat brothers in the juicer. Both of them are coming home with a win. Going to be super happy. 6 legs. The odds will be on the screen because half of the fights aren't even on DraftKings right now, but this one's smacking. Okay? And I mean, if it's not going to, now you know who to fade. Okay? So either way, don't say I never did nothing for you.
Yeah, 1000%. JP, honestly, they're probably just waiting to make sure news doesn't come out of some of these gyms that their fighters a little bit hurt. Maybe the mafia got to them. There was a phone call made. You know, we got the open investigations going on, so maybe DraftKings is really just holding off on putting a line out there.
No kidding, dude. Oh my God. Like, when I heard about that Hernandez thing too, I was like, I didn't even think about what gym he's in. The fact that it was the same one.
Little sketchy.
Coincidence? I think not.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've made it this far in the episode, make sure to like this video, help your boys out on the algorithm. Leave a comment. Do you think some of these gyms are sketchy? Should we open some more investigations with the FBI or not? And let us know who you have winning this weekend. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget, if you are not subscribed, make sure to get subscribed for the best UFC predictions in the world. You don't want to miss out, and we don't want you to miss out. With that, JP, I'll let you take us home.
If you got nothing to say, all right, drop a W, drop an L, drop whatever down in the comments. Help your boys out with that algorithm. Okay, we appreciate everybody. Who you got this weekend other than the fights? All right, Seahawks, Patriots. I don't know. I kind of want the Seahawks. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I'm slightly pulling for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
I like Jackson Smith and Jigba a lot, and if Sam Darnold can turn his career around with this Super Bowl win, good for him.
That's crazy to me that he is in a Super Bowl. I don't want to like be hella disrespectful, but I'm like, that's pretty shocking to me, honestly.
A little bit.
Yeah, Jackson Smith. Love that guy. That guy's on my dynasty team. Love that dude. I am a little worried. Okay, I'm slightly worried. I know the Raiders plan on hiring Kubiak. Super happy about that. I'm worried for JSN's output next year. Okay. Kubiak schemes him open pretty well. With that being said, I do have Brock Bowers and Genty on the team, so we're okay. We're going to be fine. All right, those boys are going crazy next year. Let us know who you got down in the comments. Seahawks, Patriots, another weekend, another set of fights. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby!